Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ahlan wa sahlan, guys. Welcome, everybody. My name is Yaqub Zaman. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. This is a live stream where I try to answer some of your questions and just chill out. Right, so welcome, everybody. I got soaked in the rain walking home today. So, was it drenched? I don't know where you guys. Is it raining where you guys are? It's soaking. In Birmingham, it was raining a lot. So summer has gone. Looks like end of autumn. Winter's about to start. So get ready, guys, for the cold weather in the UK. Those of you guys who are living in nice hot weather, mashallah, mubarak to you guys. Don't tell us. Don't make us any more jealous. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the questions before I answer them. So basically, I put videos up. Those of you guys who don't know, I make videos. I put them up for you guys to be able to benefit. Alhamdulillah. So the videos are related to. Actually, I can do this, innit? Yeah, that's good. So the videos I put up are usually on Mondays. I have Quran and so Quran, learning how to read the Quran. Alhamdulillah, we've done about 3 juz of the Quran. Alhamdulillah. The aim is to finish the entire Quran whenever that is. And on Wednesdays we have Diwan of Al-Mutanabbi. We're going through one of his long first poems that he wrote in his life. And Thursdays we have Quduri, Mukhtasar al-Quduri. At the moment we're going through Kitab al-Laqit. And Fridays, Saturdays we have live streams. And then in between that I upload other things as well for you guys, alhamdulillah. And that's it, guys. Make sure you check out my YouTube channel. Make sure you look at it and share it and hit the like button and leave a comment as well. Alhamdulillah. And also, inshallah, I will be doing a tour of Scotland in a few weeks' time, inshallah. So in a few weeks' time, Scotland, inshallah, here I come. And we're visiting mosques over there, inshallah, to deliver talks. So hopefully, inshallah, people of Scotland, you better treat me well.
As massive new changes are coming for anyone out there who is.
This is TikTok. I'm trying to upload it. I don't know why it's not uploading. Right. Let's try this. Give me a second, guys. Okay, it should work now, hopefully. Smiling. It's very warm over here. Don't tell us, please. Don't tell us how warm it is. Alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan, my brother Muhammad. I am very well. Thank you very much for asking. How are you? How's everything down your side? My brother Junaid, كيف الحال? Alaikum assalam. Alhamdulillah, ana bi khair. I have a question. If marriage isn't obligated upon someone, does it become an obligation if their parents ask them to get married? No. Marriage is only obligatory upon someone if they become like they can't sexually control themselves, basically. So that's when it becomes obligatory. Otherwise, it's considered to be highly recommended for Muslims to get married. Yeah, highly recommended. Walaikum assalam, IDK, ahlan wa sahlan, mashallah. You are here live on time. You're a good moderator. Is it permissible to sell something which can be used for permissible things? Yes, of course you can. I was wondering what you said about the Tayammum not possibly being valid on Mars as it's not Ard Tayyib. But then if that's the case, praying is only on the Ard as well. So you cannot pray. Good question. No, but the thing is, the way that we look at the praying one is the Quran is mutlaq, isn't it? It's like unconditional. There's no like restriction on. But the tayammum is sa'idan tayyiban. The word sa'idan tayyiban. And maybe the word sa'id could be used for Mars as well. As for praying on the earth, this comes in Khabar Wahid hadith. So because it comes in Khabar Wahid, it doesn't hold the same status as a verse of the Quran. جُعِلَتْ لِيَ الْأَرْضُ مَسْجِدًا وَطَهُورًا. وعليكم السلام أم QHQ أريد أتعلم اللغة العربية أهلا وسهلا. تعلمي. Is it makruh to stand up and urinate? It is better not to, but you won't be sinful for doing so. It's better to sit down. كيف حالك؟ أهلا وسهلا. قلك خيرك. أهلا وسهلا. مرحبا. عليكم السلام. Is it permissible to fart with intention but nasheed is playing? It depends what kind of nasheed is. If it's one of those cringy English ones, then maybe it might be a good thing. Only joke. No, it's not possible to fart. I mean, farting is a natural thing. It's not considered to be something unless a person is doing it deliberately to belittle the nasheed, then it's not a good thing. I have a question. Tafaddal. You're welcome. My wife was approached today and told about Islam. It was very respectful. Okay. Welcome. Welcome. عليكم السلام. كيف أكلم اللغة العربية؟ إذا كنت تريد أن تتكلم باللغة العربية, my slow Arabic kicks in now. فعليك أن تسمع العربية أكثر وتتكلم أكثر وتكتب أكثر وتقرأ أكثر. نعم، إذا فعلت هذه الأربعة إن شاء الله عربيتك تكون جميلة. So what do you think, Brother Muhammad, about this Mars thing? You tell me, what's on your mind? What do you think? I mean, I'm thinking maybe Sa'id and Tayyib, and Sa'id could refer to, Sa'id literally means this top surface. So it could be referring to Mars as well. Because it doesn't say Ard, Tayammamu, Ardan Tayyiban. Alaikum assalam, brother Salah. Guys, make special dua for our brother Salah. Monsieur, ça va très bien, merci. Je m'appelle Liaqat. That's how you gotta say it, Liaqat. Because my French friends, when they used to call me, they go, Liaqat, Liaqat. أنا بخير يا أستاذ. بنتي قالت السلام عليك أيضا. ما شاء الله ما شاء الله. وعليكم السلام وعليكم السلام يا جميلة. خبر had isn't evidence for Ahnaf. I see it's in the Quran mutawatir. What about khabar mashhur, Aziz? So the Hanafis basically break down hadith into two types. Mutawatir, three types. Mutawatir, mashhur, and khabar wahid. Khabar wahid then is Aziz and Gharib. So mashhur is like a type of khabar, just like mutawatir is. So mashhur is strong here. Mashhur can be used for evidence, but it's not at the level of fard. They consider it dhanni, yeah, that's it. So, but it's at a higher, mashhur is at a higher level. Mashhur can be used to ziyada al-kitab. If you're going for Umrah and land in Jeddah, can we go straight Medina? Yes, you can, inshallah. Is it possible to self-study Arabic? Yes, it is. It's like the same as self-studying Russian or self-studying Swahili. You can do it, but you will take a very long time and make lots of mistakes. The best thing to do is to try and study from someone who knows. Saves you a lot of time. I mean, there's lots of resources available now. I mean, like Duolingo. You've got like online free YouTube videos people make languages. Are you learning Arabic, Smiling? If we ask a scholar a question but we see a hadith against it, what do we do? Good question. If you see a scholar and he mentions something and then there's a hadith that goes against it, what should you do? So what you should do is take that hadith to the scholar, ask the scholar, do you know about this hadith? How do you understand this hadith? And that way the scholar will be able to, because hadith comes in interpretation. Right? Sometimes there might be different types of hadith. Like for example, some hadith mentioned the Prophet ﷺ never stood up and urinated. And some hadith mentioned that on some occasions he did. So how do we reconcile between this now? So the best thing to do is, first of all, try take it to the scholar, ask the scholar, can you tell me how you understand this hadith? And maybe the scholar might be mistaken and he might retract his position. Best way to learn Arabic for beginners is listen to as much Arabic as you can. Speak, write, and read. Now, I'll tell you a good way that actually I think might help you guys. So what you can do is, if you've got a phone, get an Arabic text, go into the phone, and each word, try to find, for each word with translation, like you can use Google Lens or something, try to find the meaning of each word. And then every single day do that. whether you translate it perfectly or not doesn't really matter. Do it for a month. I mean, you got to do daily, okay? One text, and what's going to happen by the end of that month is the repeating words, you'll become familiar with them. Yeah, repeating words, you become familiar, and this will then give you an understanding of the patterns in the language. Honestly, try it. Inshallah, you'll benefit a lot from it. That's one method, and there's also some other methods that you can find online, but this is a method that I found very, very helpful. Right, so you just do that, and then make sure you write it. You have to write it down with your hand. Okay, you write down. الفقه الحنفي وأدلته, they used to sell it in, I mean, I got my copy, I think, from Bolton bookstore. I think it was Bolton bookstore. I think Bolton. Yeah. But I think maybe if you check Azhar Academy might have it. Or Maktaba Ismail. Wa alaikum assalam, Tajikistan, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome, my brother. Are you Muslim, Shia Muslim? I'm Sunni Muslim. Best resources for Arabic. The best resources is, I would say, the ones that's the most available. Rather than asking what's the best one, I would say what is the most available one. Now, I have a course which is called Quranic Arabic 17 lessons, £50 for the whole course, and when you do that, you will learn a lot about the Arabic language. Honestly, you'll be able to, by the end of it, open the Quran and identify lots of words in there and start translating. If we ask a scholar a question and the answer he gives goes against hadith, yeah, answer that one. Shukran, Ustad. Ahlan wa sahlan. Dar Makkah might have it. Yeah, Dar Makkah might have it. In your Hidayah lessons, you went over how they thought removing insects were thought to be coming from body, but were eggs placed on. So when Hidayah said cannot remove, that was the reasoning. What about tapeworms that actually come from inside the? Yeah, I mean, but see, that would be, so tapeworm actually be an illness. So then that would now come under, like sadaqah. You'd give some sadaqah. So there'd be illness there. But this, I mean, lice is something that normally comes from outside, isn't it? That's how we understand it now. They're passed on, so they lay their eggs, and then they move on. But yeah, so tapeworms, anything like that, any people that have these strange sort of like insects crawling out of their skin, and yeah, the same ruling would apply. So the idea is the removal of tafath, the removal of like this unkempt state, is something that we have to avoid in a haram state, unless it's for some medical reason, in which case then there's like a special, ruling for that. Is it permissible to sell something fake, like fake Nike shoes, if the customer knows they're fake? I wouldn't see a problem with it. I mean, of course, it's as long as you're not harming. I would say as long as you're not harming the retailer, because there's a big market for fakes. There's actually a massive market that people actually rather would not want a fake than a real one. Yeah. So I mean, I used to think about this a lot, but then this is the kind of conclusion I came to. If it's going to harm the original person, then no. But if it's not going to harm them, like these massive multinational companies, I wouldn't see a problem with that. You should recommend Surah Qasas Tarkib after year 7 is helping me with Alhamdulillah. Guys, check out Surah Advanced Tarkib. I have a course, it's called Surah Qasas. I go through the whole of Surah Qasas, translation and Tarkib as well. So Arabic breakdown. So guys, check that out. Permissible to collect hadith and books as collection point for people to give. I don't know, is that a question? Permissible to collect hadith and books as a collection point for people to give and we dispose it. Are you saying, like, I don't understand. Are you asking a question here? Are you saying Assalamu alaikum min Indonesia, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome, marhaban ila hadha البرنامج. عندي سؤال لكم يا أستاذ. استماع القرآن وأنا أعمل. يعني نعم إن شاء الله استمع إلى القرآن. نعم. I heard the age limit in the UK for Alamiya studies is 25. Is it the same for every country? I've never heard of that. I've never come across that. I mean, where I teach, the age limit, there's no age limit. You can be any age you want as long as you're over 16. I mean, 25, I have never come across that. Can you wear one of those belts which have pouches? Yes, you can. The thing you can't do in ihram is wear stitched clothes. So anything that's worn as clothing, stitched, you can't have that. Or is it permissible, to have hadith books, they give it to people and the company disposes of it? As long as you trust them to dispose of it properly, yeah. Yeah, so these companies that come out and you pay them a bit of money and they dispose, yeah, I think those kind of companies are reliable. Ya Allah, hasbunallah. Yeah, so this has been my week, guys. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. I've got my relatives and friends hitting the heart button on my TikTok. I see you guys. I see you. Don't think I don't see you. I'm watching. I'm watching you make sure you hit the heart button. Yeah, so Jazakallah khair wa iyyakum. So inshallah I will be going to Scotland inshallah on the 15th and 16th. I'll be in Scotland, Glasgow, and then Dundee and Perth. So 3 places inshallah I'll be going. I won't be going Aberdeen. It's too far for that 2 days. So inshallah I will be going there. I'll be delivering some talks. I'll be doing a little workshop as well around the history course I did about the rise and the fall of the Muslims. I'll doing a shorter version inshallah. So hopefully inshallah if any of you guys are there, I will meet up with you guys inshallah. Where are you next week for Jummah? Next week Jummah I am at As-Sufa Institute. Alaikum assalam. Do you teach Arabic on Zoom? No, unfortunately, I don't teach Arabic on Zoom. I know lots of people have been asking me, do you teach Arabic? But unfortunately, I do not teach Arabic on Zoom. How many people, okay, let me ask this question. How many people would be interested in Arabic spoken classes? How many people? I'm just thinking that if there's a large number, then maybe I can start a course. It will most likely have to be a paid course. How many people would be interested in that kind of thing? So it's going to be an Arabic course, spoken Arabic. It's going to have to be a long-term one. It's not going to be a short few months, a long-term one. How many people would be interested in that kind of thing? Because these kind of Arabic courses in the past, I've actually done them. But the problem is they usually, students drop out, big dropout rate you get, spoken Arabic. You'd be interested, yeah? Would it be so far? It would be online. It would be online. Must we be in a state of ihram at the miqat, or can we also perform the niyyah and get state of ihram before miqat? You can do it before as well. As long as you are in the state of ihram once you cross the miqat, that's the main thing. Wa alaykum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan. Wa barakallah feekum. Brother, are you Naqshbandi Haqqani? No, I'm not. I would be interested. So 2 people, alhamdulillah. 2 people. Look at that, the rain stopped now. It was like pouring down earlier. Got like literally drenched. That's why I had to change my clothes, everything. Got drenched, even though I had the waterproofs on. That's what happens. Qadar of Allah. Why not? Inshallah, that'd be nice. Inshallah. Inshallah. Lots of inshallahs. Wa alaikum assalam. I am new to Islam. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, so mashallah. And for those who are doing Sharq Qatra Nada, alhamdulillah, I've started making more videos. So hopefully, there's still a few problems with the uploading issue, but hopefully the admin should upload them in a couple of days. So I'm going to start to make regular, maybe a few every week, because I know I've been very lazy with that. The only thing was because it was the way I was recording the lesson. It was just too long for me to set it all up. So now, alhamdulillah, I've found a new way, and inshallah. So those who are doing the Sharq Qatra Nada series, I think we have reached now lesson 56, 8 or 59, something like that. Fa'il. We've reached up to Fa'il. لما لا تتكلم بالعربية؟ لأن أكثر المشاهدين والمشاهدات لا يفهمون اللغة العربية وأنا أحتاج أن أتحدث معهم باللغة الإنجليزية، ولكن لو كان عندي مشاهدون وأكثرهم يفهمون العربية لغيرت أسلوبي وطريقتي في البث المباشر. وعليكم السلام يمني، أهلا وسهلا، أنا من ماليزيا أحب الدرس العربي، أهلا وسهلا. That's one place. إن شاء الله أنا سآتي إلى إندونيسيا وماليزيا إن شاء الله. هذان البلدان حبيبان إلي، فإن شاء الله سوف أحاول إن شاء الله. Mars has lots of deuterium, a heavy water, which is how they know Mars once had water. Water evaporated from Mars' surface due to... Oh, I see. Heavy water is basically where hydrogen atoms are replaced by... This is what we call H2O. Is wood... Ah, interesting. So, see, that's a good question, guys. That's the kind of questions that are challenging. I mean, I don't know the answer to this, but this is how I'd look at it. I'd look at it from the perspective of when we say ma mutlaq, are we talking about any form of precipitation? Is that what we're saying? So if that's the precipitation of them days, then maybe, yeah. Otherwise, if we're talking about ma mutlaq as in the water that's found specifically on Earth, then clearly on Mars, there's going to be a different form, like maybe tayammum. If I'm coming home from somewhere, am I allowed to pray inside of the transport, or does that ruling only apply to traveling long distance? Yes, you can pray inside the transport, but you will have to stand up and pray. Yeah, you have to stand and pray. And if not, then you pray in your seat and then later on you pray again. Alaikum assalam. Hope you are well, alhamdulillah. When taking out car insurance, just you take the cheapest insurance. It requires you to have a black box. Okay. I like how you teach Arabic language with ease. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Ameen. Jazakallah khair. Abdul. أريد أفهم اللغة العربية. أنا من إندونيسيا. أهلا وسهلا. أهلا وسهلا. ما شاء الله. مرحبا. مرحبا أهل إندونيسيا. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a day because I was soaked when I was coming here. I need to just freshen up a bit, inshallah, and get ready for evening classes because I teach in the evening as well. So those of you guys who don't know, you know what I've noticed, guys, let me tell you. When I make videos, I think I now have to actually say this, you know, in those videos where someone says, I'm an expert in, I've got 10 years experience in psychology, or I've got 10 years experience in medicine. I'm going to tell you about this. I think I'm going to have to say that. What do you guys think? Because I think that's the only way people will listen to you. You have to say that kind of thing. Although it's kind of like, do you have to say that you have studied this many years? I think I'm going to have to say it for people to actually listen to me. Yeah. The other option is obviously, you know, I have to dress up like a Maulana all the time. Yeah, have the whole kit on, and then people will listen. Just like if a doctor has a stethoscope and a white jacket, he doesn't have to say he's a doctor. People listen. What is the difference between a promise, nadhar, and yameen? So nadhar is basically when you say you condition an act of worship with something, an event. So you say, for example, if I pass my exam, that's the condition, I will pray 2 rakats. So it's condition. And yameen, oath, is when you say a promise, but you add wallahi to it. Yeah, so you say, for example, I'm gonna go to the mosque on Saturday. Wallahi, I'm going to the mosque Sunday. I am going to eat chicken on Sunday. Wallahi, I'm going to eat chicken on Sunday. So a promise with the name of Allah, it becomes an oath, and a conditional sentence with an ibadah as a consequence, it becomes a vow. Ask Hazrat ChatGPT and see what he says. Yeah, I know. I need to do that. ChatGPT is my best friend. Sorry, my question came out wrong. When taking out car insurance, must you take the lowest level of insurance? Not necessarily. What I would say is take the insurance that is going to be more appropriate for you. Yeah, the one that's going to be more appropriate for you. So you don't have to take the cheapest one. Evening class at Sofa, yes. I teach evening class at Sofa on the weekdays, the part-time course, part-time Alimia course. And then in the daytime, I teach the full-time. Tell them you're an expert without telling them you're an expert. Karama. That's true. How am I going to do that? So this is why I have to kind of say things like, I've got 25 years in learning and teaching Arabic. I was like, wow, 25 years. I was like, people who are watching, some of you guys watching on here are not even 25 years old yet. من أين أنا من أصل من Pakistan. Especially when they see Maulanas having fun. That's true. Can we open bank accounts that pay you monthly, 15 a month, that includes travel insurance? What I would say is, I don't know the exact terms and conditions. I'll have to look at the terms and conditions to actually understand what that money is actually for, like why they're giving that money. But in essence, if it's just purely for putting money in your bank and they're going to give you £15 for putting money in your bank, then I would say no. Should be avoided. Yeah. But if, for example, like it's just something which is a bonus, like they're going to not give you money back, but they're going to give you some prizes back. So you have money with them and they just give you like a gift. They'll give you, for example, I don't know, a mobile phone or something, or a voucher for this, then maybe. Okay, so can we open a bank account that you pay for monthly? So it's basically insurance, isn't it? So that's basically then insurance. So insurance is basically you are giving a premium to a financial institute, and they will say if something happens, then we will pay you this. We will pay you. That's basically what you do with car insurance, house insurance, medical insurance, and that wouldn't be allowed. Have you been teaching at Sufa at the beginning? Yes, alhamdulillah, I've been teaching at Sufa since 2009, I think, 10, 9 or 10. I've been teaching, alhamdulillah. You're welcome, my brother Sam. Wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan. I don't know how to pronounce. أنا لا أعرف كيف أنطق باسمك لأنه باللغة الروسية وأنا لست أعرف اللغة الروسية. هناك نذير من التيك توك يا شيخ مكتوبة أمام شاشة. نعم، هناك ينذرونني كثيرا. لا يعجبهم البث المباشر. Jazakallah khair. Advice for the week. My advice for the week, guys, is make sure you invest in yourself for the betterment of your society. That's a very important thing. And I wrote a little post on this early on my Facebook and on Telegram, which basically is that, look, people who study in madrasas, they need to have education, training in media literacy. They need to know how to speak to the media. They need to know how to speak with non-Muslims. They need to know how to interact with the world around them. And recently, you probably heard about some video going around with an imam speaking to Tommy Robinson. I think that if you put in that same position many other graduates or students, I don't think you'd get a really good answer unless that person is trained in the media and has worked in the Western society, understands how to respond, understands what kind of words are going to have an impact on the community. So these kind of things, learning how to articulate yourself, learning. Madrasas obviously teach students how to give bayans. All they have to do is just say, okay, we're going to shift from specifically giving bayans to now being more articulate when it comes to the society. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys think this is something madrasas should do? I personally think it is. Is it haram to wish a Hindu happy Diwali because it is an acknowledgement? I would say it's impermissible. A person should not do it. Yeah, because clearly that's a religious festival. A person can say something like, I hope you have I hope you enjoy yourself. I hope you have a good time, things like that. Can you give us advice on how to study without feeling overwhelmed? No, I can't. Actually, yes, I can. Right. So look, let me tell you something. I just learned this new thing, and it's really helped me a lot in the past couple of weeks. It's procrastination. Yeah, procrastination. Procrastination is like I have procrastination on a lot of things. Some people will have it on certain things, and other things that they don't have it. So the one of the ways to overcome procrastination is just think about, like, let's say for example you're thinking, oh, you know what, I've got to wash the dishes, for example. So what you do is you think to yourself, what feeling am I going to get after I wash the dishes? Just imagine that feeling you're going to feel after you wash them. Once you get that, you forget about your procrastination. You get more motivated to do it. I've actually tried this, and 9 times out of 10, alhamdulillah, it's worked. If I've kind of thought to myself, you know what, I'll leave this till later, I'll leave this till tomorrow. And honestly, I try it, I practice, and I think to myself, you know what, is this something? And I saw this on social media, and it actually works. It's a hack. You need to hack your body. So, you know, overwhelmed is a problem. You realize this. Now you need to realize, okay, what's the counter for my body? How do I counter this overwhelming sensation? Right. For example, if it's raining outside and it's overwhelming rain, what do you do to overcome that? Do you go by car? Do you use umbrella? Do you use some water jacket or something, waterproofs? So what I would say is, when it comes to studying, first of all, write down exactly everything you're doing, and then try to figure out, is this too much for me to do with everything else I'm doing? And if it is, try to cut out the things that are not that necessary, and then focus on those ones. And then you build ground up. So the bare essentials, and then you add to them. That's one of the ways I would say. Just bought Sharh Riyad al-Salihin by Ibn Kamal Basha. Brings opinions from other scholars. Interesting. What is it? I've heard of it, but I haven't really looked at it. So let me know if there's anything interesting you come across. The layout. What does kathiran mean? I'm always confused. Kathir means a lot. A lot. Saima, alaikum assalam. How to teach different levels usul al-tafsir and usul hadith systematically. So I've got a course on usul al-hadith, which is free of charge for anyone that wants to. It's 22 lessons. So if you want to do it, then the email on the screen, make sure you email me, and inshallah I'll give you details of it. Inshallah, you can join. So I think that's for that. So I have a system where you go through usul hadith, and then after that you go through nukhbat al-fikr, for example. You go through bayquniya. You might want to go through Nazhat al-Nazar, commentary of nukhbat al-fikr. You might want to go through something like Tadrib al-Rawi, Muqaddam ibn Salah. So that's the systematic way I normally go through it when I teach. Usul al-tafsir, I think the most important thing in usul al-tafsir is this. Because remember, there's usul al-tafsir, and these are different things. Usul al-Quran focuses more on the content of the Quran. Like, breaks down ayats into different themes, breaks down ayats into different chapters. So it's more like trying to survey the Quran itself. Whereas usul al-tafsir is surveying the books of tafsir. So usul al-tafsir will give you like an insight into what tafsirs are about. That's what it more. So it depends. What do you want? So if you want usul al-tafsir, then the most common one I would say to start off with would be like Tibyan by Muhammad Ali al-Sabuni. Yeah, so that's probably a very nice one to start off with. Very easy, short, simple. And then you can maybe there's I remember when I was in madrasa, I studied one by Manna Qattan, Usul al-Tafsir. Yeah, and then I think Sheikh Juday also has one, Abdullah Juday, he's also got one as well. These are very easy to read. And then you can go to the advanced ones like Zirkashi's, Manahi Irfan, and then Abdul Azim's, Al-Burhan. Yeah, so these are different ones you can look at. But I think the first thing you need to focus on is the bare minimum. I am from Afghanistan. MashaAllah, ahla wa sahlan, bakhair ali, and alive, and live in Russian and study Arabic. MashaAllah, welcome, ahla wa sahlan. He even gave a statement of apology. Oh yeah, I know, I heard a statement of apology. But see, the problem is that this is just a symptom of what's happening behind the scenes. Right now, people that haven't really thought about this. The people we think who are supposed to be the most eloquent and who can present themselves in the best way, we expect the ulama. And if the ulama can't do these kind of things, what's the problem? Why do we have this problem? Rise me, I have a akhi. Ahla wa sahla. I don't know what you said there, brother. I am feeling you are doing. No, I'm not. Thanks from you. Ahla wa sahlan. Alhamdulillah. التيك توك ظن أنكم تشربون الخمر. ممكن، لا أدري، ممكن ظن أني. السلام عليكم. السلام يا رأس الحكمة يا حكيم. ألف خير. أهلا وسهلا حبيبنا إمبيريوم. أهلا وسهلا، بارك الله فيكم. You need to hire a good public relations expert who Hollywood and politicians hire can maybe have madrasas PR. Honestly, I think that's what needs to happen. There needs to be like a unification of these madaris and masjids, and you need to have a representative for them. Right? So masjids in Birmingham need to be represented by particular individuals, and that's how we're going to go forward. We have to be more professional. We can't just say what we feel like saying. We have to understand the repercussions in the community that we live in. Ya Allah, hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Is it allowed to sell something one does not own, collect the payment, then buy it cheaper, even though hadith forbids? So it depends on the model, isn't it? So it depends. Like, for example, in Salam, if you ever studied Salam, I've got a course on Quduri and the Salam. So Salam, you pay for something, you order something, and then the Muslim ilayhi, he basically what he does is he can actually outsource the item. So Salam is an example of what we call a forward sale. Yeah. So as long as it fulfills the criteria of Salam, I wouldn't see a problem with it. That would be permissible. So this is why the Salam actually is khilaf al-qiyas, is istihsan masala. Because technically Salam should not be allowed because it's bay al-ma'doom, selling something you don't own. But the reason it's allowed, they say, is because there was a great need in the time of the Sahaba. Prophet ﷺ, he allowed it. And then as an extension, istisna is allowed, manufacturing is allowed. Alhamdulillah, our full-time students, the moment we have reached up to Kitab al-Hiba. MashaAllah, it's very good. So usually when I teach fiqh, what I do is I get the students to watch my videos, and then in class they have to read the text, explain the text, and stand up on the board in front of everyone. I'll try to put some videos up to show you guys. And they have to explain it on the board to the other students, and then there's like a debate in the class if they get it wrong or right, and then we ask about modern application of it as well. So alhamdulillah, mashallah, the students are now able to apply, the fiqh to the real world, to taxis, how taxis systems work, and buying and selling, and forward sales, all these kind of things. They start to understand how they work. So I think that's very important when it comes to teaching the fiqh. You got to get the students engaged in fiqh. You got to allow the students to ask any questions they want and don't embarrass them in class. Let them ask whatever they want and engage in it, because that's what's going to make them more confident. But if the teacher is only teaching fiqh and everyone's silent and there's only like one or two questions in the lesson, then that's not really a healthy lesson for fiqh. That's just a dictation of the teacher, you can say. They can do that watching a video. So in the lesson, that's what I believe. In the lesson, whatever you teach, you have to be able to provide something that they can't get through a video or through a book on their own. Yeah, and honestly, that's if you implement that in your teaching, your classes are just going to go on to a next level. They are all meant to be under the Sharia Council, but they all act independently. Yeah, it's true. I agree 100%. So this is like the challenges of living outside of an Islamic administration. These are the challenges that we are in. Challenges unprecedented for us. We've never seen how to deal with these problems. But inshallah, we are slowly starting to become more mobilized now. Alhamdulillah. Wa alaikum assalam, brother Abdul Majid. Long time no see, bro. Long time no see. Praying on the moon. What is your fatwa? Good question. That's a very good question. I mean, I don't know the answer to it because Islam does not have an answer for it. It's an ijtihad. Whatever answer is given is based upon human assumption. I would say it's permissible, of course. But the only problem is how are you going to stand? That's the question. Because obviously you're going to be bouncing around apparently. What do you think about this? What's the ruling on traveling and living alone as a woman? So traveling, a woman should have a mahram with her for safety purposes. Living alone, she can live alone. Living alone is permissible as long as it's a safe environment. Again, safety is the most important thing for women. So in Islam, men need to protect their women. That's the gist of, you can almost say, of a functioning Muslim society with women in there. There needs to be protection for women. Should the students take up Arabic Fusha course to understand the classical texts? It depends if they want to. If they want to go into classical Arabic, then of course they should start studying Fusha because the books are generally written in Fusha. Kifayat, ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome, my brother Kifayat. I used to have a friend from Bunir, Kifayat from Bunir, who's a good guy, mashallah. I am an online dars in Nizami student. I want to be very much fluent and good in Arabic classical texts and Quran and Hadith. Please tell me the roadmap. That's a good question, guys. It's a very long answer. Look, in a gist, I will tell you this. Obviously, it requires a long session, maybe like an hour session, for me to break all this down. I'm thinking maybe it might be a good idea to actually make a video like this, or even do a podcast. Yeah, actually, that might be a good idea. Who out of you guys would be interested in doing a podcast with me, but you have to be the presenter? Who would be interested? But you have to be very good at it. You can't just be off the cuff and just make stuff. You got to be confident person. If you're confident, then maybe, that might be something good, because I don't want someone, a random person just coming on and then going off on crazy. Yeah, but you have to be good. You have to be articulate. You're gonna have to, obviously, you can't speak. You can't speak the Alam Rock and Aston English. Yeah, I think it's important. This topic is very important. Maybe it might just grow into a series of podcasts where we talk about things, and I want to focus it on studying, madrasa life and studying and books and all those kind of topics, which a lot of people seem to be very, very interested in. I speak the King's English. Allah, Queen's. Are we on the Queen's English? So, in a gist, I would say this. Look, the roadmap should be this. First of all, focus on trying to get your Arabic to a certain level. Get yourself a book that you want to be able to read on your own, and then focus. I want to be able to get to be able to read this book on my own. Right. So you set yourself mini targets. Then once you've attained that, you say, okay, my next goal is to get myself to be able to read this kind of book, and do that in every science, and you'll start to become more engaged in. I know this Arabic Yemeni girl who knows English too. She wants to teach Arabic. You think she can? I don't know. I don't know so far. Because the admin would have. They don't need anyone at the moment, from what I know. But what she can do is contact the Sufa, the admin, and tell her her situation, and then maybe if they've got a vacancy, they can look into it. لم نعرف أنا أسكن في بريطانيا إنجلترا إنجلاند قريب من مانشستر يونايتد. How did people pray before apps that told you how when they didn't live in Saudi? How did people pray before apps that told you how, as in direction, you mean? Good question. I think what happens is the more technology comes, the more we lose a inherited science. Yeah, the more calculators came out, people naturally start to become weak in mathematics. The more you have television, people naturally start to become more weak in reading as well. So I think this is one of the things that we can't believe. Were there really people who could actually figure out the Qibla using the natural resources that Allah has given? Of course they were. Yeah, of course they were. My brother AB. Alaikum assalam. B-Town bullies. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam carried out public opinion when he said, I don't want people to say he kills his own companions. Public relations expert. Well done. Very good. Excellent. It's a good one. I'm going to use that. Madrasa needs to hire them to teach their students how to talk. Honestly, there is a massive need for especially where we are now on the back foot in the West. We have to have. We can't just come out with things willy nilly. We have to come out with things which are sensible, which are professional, which are mature as well in how we address these problems. I mean, you remember COVID happened? Oh, you heard all sorts of people, Maulanas and non-Maulanas, coming out with all sorts of things, and you're thinking, oh, this just sounds so strange. So I think Allah sometimes tests Maulanas. Yeah, may Allah protect us. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. TMZ. Could you explain how the definition of alcohol changed in the Hanafi madhab throughout? What I can do, my brother, ask me tomorrow because I'm going to be finishing it now. So this requires like a bit of a long. It's a bit of a long one, and it's a bit of you got to be very careful how you say it because a lot of people listen and they take the wrong message from it. So remind me tomorrow. Inshallah, come a bit early. Too long. Muslims need to do good propaganda to counter bad propaganda. Maybe. I mean, there's that famous book I told you guys about called Propaganda. But the problem is propaganda is generally in the negative. So the truth always exists in actions. Actions um, always reflect the truth. Yeah, and propaganda is usually used for just like Fir'aun, he did propaganda to the people. Atadarun rajulan, are you going to leave this man who wants to get us out of what's the verse? Get us out of this place, wants to expel us, these migrants. It's a very similar language. If you look at how the right wing are using a lot of it, look at how Firaun and his people began to use that rhetoric against Musa alayhi salam and Bani Israel. Very similar. Yeah, it's very emotionally charged. So I think definitely, I don't think propaganda is the right word. Maybe PR might be good. So all you have to do is easy. All you have to do is like this. It's just like, for example, let's say you have a relative and their son goes to grammar school and all that. That's PR. You think, wow, look at this guy, man. And the whole family can be messed up family. But this one guy in the family goes to grammar school and everyone thinks, oh, mashallah, mashallah. Praying on the moon, let's get there and then early. Kya baat, bhai. Wah. Does that mean it's not allowed to live alone abroad as this will require traveling alone? What I would say is, look, if there is a woman situation, she should privately speak to a scholar, and then based on that, the scholar would be able to give her a precise answer because not every woman's situation is the same. I love to do the podcast. Yeah, Salah. Okay, so I've got two people who have nominated themselves for podcast. Let's see, inshallah. Let's see. Maybe it might be good. I mean, Salah, I would like to do one with the Quran one. Yeah, the Quran mapping one. That might be a good idea. How quick do you think a student could start becoming competent in Islamic Arabic texts? I mean, how quick can someone become competent in Spanish? How quick can someone become competent in French? It's the same. What I would suggest is you need to have mini goals. Set yourself mini goals, and then in those mini goals, have smaller goals. And then that what happens is it becomes more attainable, and you don't get burnout and you don't get fatigue, or like the French say, fatigue. Once my friend said to me, "Are you fatigué?" I go, "What? Excuse me, bro." He goes, "Yeah, fatigué. Fatigué. You get like, I goes, "No, fatigue. Ah, fatigue. Yes, brother, I'm fatigué." How quick do you think? Come in with the Brummy accent, yo, wagwan kazi, and where, bro, from Mufi. Actually, that's a good idea. Ah, brother. Actually, you know what? The best one is the Bradford, in the Bradford kind of Pakistani accent. That's the best one. You know that guy, that comedian. What's that comedian? Taj, bro, Taj, bro, Taj has got the proper Bradford accent. No, why discriminating again, roadman? Technology diminishes life skills, 100%. Alaikum assalam. Can a woman apply for masters in a city that exceeds travel? Possibly. Again, like I said, it's dependent upon the situation. The woman should contact a scholar, her situation is possible. كيف حالكم أهلا وسهلا اليوسف كان البلغة nullify صلاة البلغة I don't know what بلغة is. عن ماذا تتكلم يا شيخ؟ ما فهمت. أنا أتحدث بعض الأسئلة عندهم وأنا أحاول إجابة. عليكم السلام أهلا وسهلا حبيبي إدريسو. Equilibrium, wa alaikum assalam. Okay. Have you seen the video of Tony? Yeah, I think everyone's seen it. Poor Imam, man. You kind of feel sorry for the guy. You can't. I mean, if the guy knew the backlash he's gonna get, I don't never think he'll ever respond like that. But he didn't realize the power of the mobile phone is nowadays. Honestly, I think a lot of religious people, they don't realize the power of the mobile phone, right? And they just make like a video. They don't realize how impact it could have. Now, obviously, this will blow away after a week or so. It'll blow away. All he has to do is just stay under the radar. Don't say anything else. He's giving his apology, and then inshallah it'll blow away. Just like politicians, when they come out with rubbish and then they step down, and everyone forgets them. It'll blow away. Amnesia. We have amnesia. Social media amnesia. Oh, balgham, phlegm. No, phlegm. According to the majority of Hanafis, the phlegm does not break your wudu. Doesn't break the wudu. Finding the Qibla is easy without an app. You use the sun, yeah. But if it's a cloudy day, then you're in trouble. Edward Berner it's the politics sheikh. There is a siyasa of Rasulullah and the Machiavellian type they use today. Ministry of War, change the name, Ministry of Defense. Yeah, definitely. There's actually a good book I'm going through at the moment. One of my friends gave it to me. It's called, let me tell you. It's about translation. You're translating. In other words, it's called In Other Words, a course book on translation. In Other Words, it's called In Other Words. Yeah. And this book is quite good. It actually gives you a nice insight into this whole concept of translating from one language to another, the challenges, what are the limits of translation, can a translation ever be wrong? And it's really eye-opening for me. What's with the lights? Bro, we need some nur in our life. آتي بالدليل. نعم. عند الحنفية يقولون هو ليس بنجس. البلغم ليس بنجس. والنجس هو ما خرج من السبيلين أو دم أو قيح أو القيء ملء الفم. خلاص. أما البلغم فلا يعتبر نجاسته، وإن كان فيه بعض النجاسات لأنه قليل جدا بالنسبة إلى ملء الفم. Mapping is the right thing, yeah. If I'm the host of a podcast, I might just take over the whole thing. Oh, you might say 3,000 years ago is promised to you. That's the problem. That's why you can't invite everyone, because there might be some guys who just say 3,000 years ago, bro, this iPhone 17 was promised to me. Ministry of War now in the USA. James Corbett, not yet, bro, not yet. He didn't realize his real nature came out racist, and I'm not talking about Tommy. TR has been happy about. He annoyed me. Kind of, which I don't think. I haven't seen the Imam on the Tommy video. Was it really bad? It's quite, appalling. Most of these imams are in bubble, yeah, unfortunately. No sympathy for so leaders of our communities. Man shouldn't be allowed near pulpit, 100%. I mean, he should be allowed near a pulpit, but I think he just needs training. That's what it is. That's a problem in madrasas. You don't get training of how to deal with the worldly life. You just get training in a particular science. So I hardly get to watch, but I always watch these. Alhamdulillah, Eagle. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. عليكم السلام يا شيخ. ما بين مبتدأ وخبر بينهما فاصلة فرجة. لا أدري ماذا بين المبتدأ والخبر. طيب, okay guys, I'm going to finish it there. Jazakallah khair. Okay, I will have to go now. Hopefully tomorrow, inshallah, another live stream in the evening for those of you guys who can watch. Inshallah, make sure you guys join. Okay then. Assalamu alaikum.